Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Episode 9, Part 2, Smash the Mirror.
Yes.
I am your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate. Part 2. How exciting. Lots of stuff happened in this one. What did you think of it?
Ooh, I really loved it.
Yeah, me too. I was really into this one.
The two
I'm glad they did it
episodes.
as 2 in one night because I think the second one was a stronger episode.
I agree.
And I think that if it had been 1 week and then the next week, we might have been like, yeah, that was okay. But because they were together, awesome. So do we want to go through this one?
Flashback.
Okay.
So Anna goes back into the dungeon. Anna goes back into the dungeon, and they're walking past, and the guard is sleeping.
And he looks so peaceful.
Yeah.
She said,
after this thing, we have to get some new guards.
Yeah, because clearly they're not supposed to be sleeping on the job.
Yeah.
Once again, he looks like a roadie from Whitesnake. So I was laughing. I'm like, that doesn't look like a beard from
And I really don't think the girls should have been telling their plan. He could have been pretending to be sleeping. Right. That could have been Ingrid.
We don't know.
Somebody could have been.
I bet that was Ingrid.
No, but like somebody could have been.
I think it was just a sleepy guard.
Somebody could have been disguised, like in a different form,
yes,
and taken the form of a guard. You don't know who's there. You don't know where she's hiding or who's listening. I would not in a million years have ever discussed my plan.
Right.
Out in the open like that. But anyway, they did. And instead of Anna outsmarting Ingrid chained her to the floor.
Yeah, that was great when you saw the chains all of a sudden appear on her wrist.
Surprise!
Yeah.
How's that? Because they were doing, and she said, I would have done it better. Because she was going to do surprise.
Right. After she trapped her in the urn.
So this was all a setup from Ingrid. And she said, she didn't go for my thing, so I had a backup plan. And it really broke bad for Anna.
Well, and Ingrid makes Anna tell her the story of the Norse king.
Yeah, this was cool.
And
this was a good fairy tale.
She has a piece of the mirror.
I wonder if this is a real fairy tale, because I didn't know this one.
The Trollden glass.
Yeah, but it was really cool. We'll have to look that one up.
And they said it makes you only see the worst in the one you love.
Yes.
And the ones you love. And she's going to cast the spell over Anna, and it's called the Spell of Shattered Sight.
Right.
And so she did, and now the little bits of glass went into Anna's eyes.
Well, yeah, it covered her eyes like a contact lens. At first I was like, oh no, they're going to put glass in her eye, but no, they weren't really doing that. It was all magic, and it was looking like contacts. Then it shattered. So it was like she's seeing everything through that prism. That was really cool.
And then Anna has the urn, and she's up there with Elsa now upstairs.
Yeah, and now she's not
She
happy.
is angry at Elsa because this curse is on her. Yeah. And so it's causing her to only think of the bad things that have happened.
Right. Yeah, she's only seeing the negative, which is what the curse does. And Elsa's like, I don't get why you're acting like this. I don't understand. And then Ingrid shows up.
She's so supportive, like...
Well, yeah. And then Ingrid shows up, and she's like, hey...
And she would be, it's chocolate.
What?
Like me.
Oh, because she had chocolate on the table.
And she loves chocolate.
Yes, that was a chocolate Krakenbush. That's what that was.
What's a Krakenbush?
Your Aunt Nancy made one once.
Yep.
It's
It's
like
that-
cream puffs and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but that one wasn't
chocolate.
cream puffs. It was chocolate. But it looks like a tree with cream puffs on it, or in this case, chocolates on it.
Yeah, but hers might have been chocolate-covered cream puffs.
Well, they were. They were
Yeah.
cream puffs, and then she drizzled chocolate over it.
Right.
Yeah,
But
like,
this was like chocolates,
yeah,
I think.
everything had chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate kabushka or something.
What?
Krakenbush.
Krakenbushka.
So Anna has the urn, so that if she throws her necklace, Anna throws her necklace in the fire.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Now, that's the same necklace that we saw at Mr. Gold's shop that
Yeah.
Elsa got back from there.
yep, and
Dad,
Yeah.
guess what I just
I
realized?
can't even guess what.
You just sounded like the guy at the shop.
What guy at the
The
shop?
crazy guy. Would you like a supper?
What?
You just sounded like him.
No, get out of here.
Quackenbush.
the Trollden glass is based on the troll mirror from the fairy tale The Snow Queen.
Oh, so it's from the Snow Queen.
But they never call it the
Oh!
Trollden glass. They changed it forever after, for Once Upon a Time.
Excellent.
So it's based on the troll mirror.
Excellent. Okay, so
Yeah.
now we know.
Yeah.
So the Snow Queen is a Norse fairy tale.
Yes.
So does that mean
Hans
Thor's going to show up in this? Because
Christian
Thor is
Hans
Norse.
Christian Andersen.
Hans Christian Andersen. He did Snow Queen.
He wrote it.
Is he Norse?
He's from
Denmark.
Is that Norse?
It's where the
No.
Norse Nook is.
It's that North? Is that North? Is that North?
Are you smarter than a fifth grader? That's what I want to know.
So
Time
anyway,
to Google.
Elsa knows that Anna's under a spell,
Yes.
but Anna put her in the urn.
Yep. Yeah, and this was interesting because as soon as she did it, it's like she woke up and went, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" Because I thought that would stay permanent, but it was just long enough for her to do what she needed.
Yeah,
what
I thought
Ingrid
it would
needed.
stay permanent too. Like
And
I
then-
thought she would, and finally also would get down and she'd be blah, 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 be all
Right.
mean.
And then what's his name came in? Frederick or Hans or
Hans.
what's his name?
Hans is evil. Frederick is in a tree with some
Kristoff.
vinegar.
Comes in and he stopped.
Oh, Kristoff, that's his name. Yeah, he comes in and he's got a pick.
He stopped Ingrid and she froze Anna and Kristoff and
Yes.
she took the urn.
Yes.
So technically, he did not stop her.
Well, but he stopped her in the moment from doing whatever she was about to do.
Right.
to
right.
kill Anna.
Right. And then Rumpel saw Anna and Kristoff frozen and he pulled up the necklace and he said, "Oh, I've got it back now. She took this from me."
Right.
Yeah, because it was metal. How would it really burn in a fire?
Yeah.
And-
So now we know how he ended up with it at his shop.
He wants the hat back and he tells Ingrid the urn for a hat.
Right.
If she returns the sorcerer's hat, he will return the urn.
Once again,
And he
an
hid the
urn for a hat.
And he hid it.
Right. So he's not trying to earn it. He's trying to get it by trading an urn.
You're
Thank
so
you.
funny.
Come again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Come again.
Denmark is definitely Norse. Like there's a
Okay, so you Googled
that
it while we were
culture,
talking?
Yeah, it goes through the
So, because Hans Christian
Copenhagen. He's from
Andersen is
Copenhagen.
from Copenhagen, right?
Yeah.
So that's Norse,
Right.
Okay, is Thor going to show up? That's all I really care about.
Probably.
No.
Okay, so
I hope so.
Ingrid is back in Arendelle, and she uncovered the hat and started to say Rumpelstiltskin 3 times
Right.
to summon him.
Yep. And as she was getting through the third one, Rumpelstiltskin,
No,
boom. Yeah, she went Rumpelstiltskin, Rumpelstiltskin, Rumpelstiltskin,
and then
the apprentice guy showed up
Uh-huh.
and
I thought
said,
you were
"Hold on."
I thought you were misspeaking, and you were going to say Rumpelstiltskin showed up,
No.
Shoulder.
shouldered up to the
He-
bar.
He's a shoulderer. So no, the apprentice
Or he
showed
had
up.
a short.
Who I'm not sure about this now. Do you think that apprentice is the apprentice,
No, I think he's
or
the
is
sorcerer.
he the sorcerer and he's
Sorcerer.
I
pretending?
think a lot of times the ones who are actually the
because
guy
he was doing the magic
pretend.
pretty easily.
I think they pretend to be so that people they feel untouchable, like so that they.
right. So he can deceive. So
He can do-
so
yeah.
people can see. So do you think he's going to show up at that mansion? Because now
He did. They already put him in the hat.
what?
Back in that other episode when Rumpel and those guys were in that mansion. Oh no, that was a little cabin or something.
Yeah, right. that was there.
Cabin mansion.
I'm wondering
whatevs.
if
Same thing. to me.
at the
It
mansion
was at
that
your
appeared.
firehouse.
But that was the same guy.
That Belle and Rumpelstiltskin did the Beauty and the Beast dance at and had their honeymoon.
Was that a
Is
euphemism?
is he going to show up there and it's going to turn out to be his mansion
I thought
and
he
he's
already
the
killed
sorcerer?
him.
No, he put him in the hat. He didn't. He could have used a mousetrap. Sorcerers go
You're
in,
full of trap.
they don't come out.
All right, so
Oh!
hand over the box, and you can go to the land to find your third sister.
Are you talking to me? Because I don't have sisters.
So she goes, she hands him the box.
Yes, and she goes
through the door into the portal, and she ends up in Boston.
Yep.
It's hysterical.
And it looked like, what, Mal? I'm sorry.
Dad said it looked like the 80s.
It did. Well, it was the 80s because there was a Tron poster. That's the only time you would have seen that. And Tron is awesome. Maybe we'll get a Tron crossover. Can you imagine if all of a sudden Tron showed up?
All right, let's get to
Flynn. They went to Flynn's arcade.
So that's it for flashback. So she's until we find out
Flashback and flash kind of. No, that's not flash
all
forward.
flashback.
Yeah, it's all flashback. Okay.
So Emma, now we're back in Storybrooke, and Emma gets out of her car, and Ingrid is there, and she tells her to turn around and go home. And Ingrid, will not let her go to Rumpel.
Right.
But Emma figures out that she's not really there.
Right.
It's kind of like a hologram or something.
Right. So at the end of the last episode, we saw her crash her car with Ingrid standing there, but really all she was doing was dodging this hologram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she did a Gem and the Holograms concert, so that was kind of awesome.
That was awesome.
Gem and the holograms.
So Emma goes to the mansion,
Uh-huh.
and Rumpel was in there, and she missed Hook's call just by like a few seconds, which is upsetting. And she starts to go in. She's in the mansion. She starts to go towards the room that has the light. I was freaking out. I even wrote in my notes, Emma, no, in capital letters.
Oh my gosh,
with lots of exclamation points.
Close to doing it. And really, like on a lot of shows, you go, okay, she's not going to go in there clearly. But I really was convinced she may go in there, and now we're going to have a few episodes of trying to get her back out. So that's what
I thought. She was going to get trapped in that hat.
Yeah, that was really good tension. I didn't know how it was going to play out.
And she asked Rumpel, what would you do? And he said, well, I wouldn't go anywhere near there. I wouldn't go anywhere near that hat. And he said, but I don't make choices that are unselfish and for other people. So he kept thinking he could use this sort of reverse psychology on her.
Right.
And
like you're going to make the right choice. So whatever you do.
I wouldn't do it, but of course you will. See, you don't want to do what I would do.
Right. Because I make the wrong choice.
That backfired.
Yep.
So,
I would say
so he leaves and Hook is outside. And he traps Hook. And he's like, you're not getting in there. You're not stopping this thing. And Hook is like held hostage by vines.
No, they're not vines. It's funnier. It's a garden hose.
Oh, it's a garden hose. Right. At the same time, he thinks everything's going fine inside. But at the same time, Elsa shows up. She's following that red scarf.
Emma's going towards the hat, and Elsa intervenes.
All are welcome. Move towards the hat. That's my Poltergeist impression.
Emma has to embrace her powers to control them.
Yes.
So Elsa really talks her down and convinces her.
I
believe me,
I've
been there.
Yeah, it's not just about somebody believing in you. It's you believing in yourself. Because Anna believed in her, but it wasn't until she figured that out that she was able to control herself. And that's when Emma has this awakening like, wait a minute, I need to embrace my powers. And then this isn't going to be happening like this.
And then so they had touched hands.
Yep.
And the powers got under control. It didn't hurt Elsa. And outside, Hook mocks Rumpel for failing.
Yeah. And you know what? The guy has you trapped with a garden hose, and he is trouble.
And you have no magic.
And
He's
you
got
just
magic.
kicked him off. I don't know if I'd really start provoking the crocodile.
And, so Rumpel says that
he's called the crocodile.
Yeah, right.
He needs something other than her magic. He needs a heart. And he knew he needed someone's heart who knew him before he was the Dark One. And he stole Hook's heart, and now he controls him.
Only one left that isn't dead is him.
And now he fully controls him.
Right.
This
now,
is bad for
if
Emma.
Bay had been alive, Bay would have also been. He could have taken his.
Yes, but he wouldn't.
How crazy would that be?
Yes.
He would never have.
And so Hook and Emma are reunited.
And it feels so good.
And Hook took the hat.
Yeah.
And
I think we're gonna get licensing issues.
And he's got it's interesting because Rumpel has his heart, so he is controlling him, but at the same time, like Hook is still in there. You can tell, like when he's hugging Emma, it's
he
like
loves her.
It's like, just notice what's going on here. You know?
So in a parallel storyline, Regina and Snow are out. The crew, the Scooby crew,
Scooby and the crew
are out there looking, and they find the tracks from Emma's car, and so they decide to start following on foot and figure that maybe she walked the rest of the way.
Okay.
So Regina and Snow are discussing Henry, and she thanks Snow White for pointing out her shirt. Oh no, this is when they're back at her apartment.
Right,
the apartment.
right.
And she says, "Thanks for pointing out my shirt earlier, because I don't want to be putting that in front of Henry." Like,
yeah, right.
He doesn't need all this. And David comes out and tells Regina that Emma has figured out a way to get rid of her magic.
What? Why are you here?
Oh, yeah, I know. And she,
it's his house.
Yeah.
and she said, "Why aren't you finding her? Why?
Yeah,
what are
you
trying
should
to
be
do?"
out there trying to find Emma.
And he says, "Well, we decided we're going to let her get rid of her magic if that's what she wants."
Who's
And
this we?
Regina says, "We're not talking about an old pair of Jimmy Choos here,
Jimmy Shoes.
Jimmy Choos and Jimmy Choo's shoes." And so she's like, "Do you understand what you're
Right,
asking her to
right.
give up?" And she said, that this could be the worst idea you've ever had, and you hired
the Wicked Witch as a nanny.
Right.
so
That hurt Mom because she's a nanny.
Yeah, but
Right.
I'm not the Wicked Witch. I was Mary Poppins.
Crazy Mary Poppins.
Mr. French from Family Affair.
Come on, you don't have that much facial hair.
Mom, you were.
See, Mr. French had a beard.
You're crazy.
You're more like Hazel.
Mom, you're crazy,
Mr. B.
You're crazy.
I don't think anyone who listens to this is old
Mom.
enough to know what that is.
Mom, you're crazy, Mary Poppins.
Thanks a lot.
Crazy Poppins.
Crazy Poppins.
So,
Martha Poppins.
she said, "Do you know what I regret most?" And she said, "Not supporting Henry when he realized he was special. And I tried to convince him he was normal." Well, first she tried to convince him he was crazy. But she was trying to make him feel ordinary. No, you're just ordinary. You're just like everybody else. You're not coming up with something unique. You're not special. You're not figuring out a master plan here. You're not undermining my curse or anything. Yeah. And so then they realize that the potion is gone, and so is Elsa. I'm sure Elsa in this 2-room condo, I'm sure she's thinking, wow, she went back and watched the episode, I bet.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow, really, you couldn't have noticed I was gone before that.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they go out to find Emma, and they find her car tracks.
Uh-huh.
And Snow and Regina are discussing Robin Hood.
Yeah. Yep. Robbie Bobby.
Robbie Bobby Hood.
And Snow says, "You're not all evil, and I'm not all good."
Yeah, this was a really good scene because she's like, "Look, you've seen my heart. It's not perfect."
Mm-hmm.
And
Nobody
it comes
is
down to
either
choices.
or. Yeah.
I was rotten as a kid, and things changed.
Right.
You can make better choices.
And
you can have hope.
And she said, "If you stay the course, your happiness will come."
Right.
And in the meantime, Will, Scarlet, and Robin Hood are in the library. And
What
Robin...
kind of Dewey Decimal System did they have
what
going
is
at this
the Cat
library?
in the Hat all by itself doing in the middle of all these textbooks?
He's got a book about ships that's a pop-up book next to an
It's
encyclopedia.
very bizarre. Belle clearly has some issues with organizing.
Yeah,
no,
somebody
Runkle
does.
did.
No, it's Belle's library.
Belle does the library.
I was kidding.
Maybe she doesn't work. Maybe it all just got shoved
Apparently,
in
I
there,
haven't seen her for a couple episodes.
and nobody works. She doesn't
haven't
actually
seen
work. in the library.
anyone except
For being open till 10 o'clock at night.
You're right.
You'd think they'd have plenty of
You'd think there'd be
hours in a
somebody
day
in there.
to sort books.
There aren't that many people there either.
So, anyway, so they're in the library, and Robin found a letter in his bag, and so he called Regina, and Snow White says, "Maybe Hope worked." And Regina says, "Well, if it did, I owe you a quarter."
Uh-huh.
Right.
Regina gets a phone call from Robin saying, "You need to come immediately."
Right.
And
Yes.
And Snow's like, "Go."
yeah.
And Regina's like, "Well, I don't know." She's like, "No, this is one of those things. You make a choice."
So Robin and
have
Regina
to make the big choice.
are in the library, and there's a page that shows them kissing in the pub.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And she's, wait, why is this here?
And it's the same page number as the one that there's not a page missing from the book.
Right.
No.
It's a
different
version.
storyline.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he says you have choices here. Like everything that Snow was saying is being mirrored here. So if there is a writer, and it showed up in his bag,
Is the writer there and
did the writer
feeding this?
put it in there, like physically in there, or is it being created just like when the book appeared to Henry?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Well, I guess we have hope."
Or
What?
maybe he keeps he snuck it into the closet. He snuck it into the bag with nobody.
Robin?
No, not Robin.
Oh,
No,
the
the
author?
writer? Well, yeah, that's what we said. Could the writer be physically
Yeah,
there?
either he's doing that or it's magic.
Yeah, it could be
Or
magic.
He's physically there.
And what if it
but
turns
he's
out...
magic? Boom, it's just appearing places.
What if it's the sorcerer that's doing that?
Oh, good idea.
Well, but Robin says that gives us hope. Now we have, now we have hope that we can have
Right.
a different storyline. And Regina says, "I owe someone a quarter."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ingrid at the same time. Now Emma's done. They're away from the mansion now, and Ingrid is free from her trap.
Yes.
And she's wearing the yellow ribbon, and the other two have disappeared. Like she kind of.
Well, yeah, she does the magic trick, and you see it, the
So-
yellow ribbon appear on her wrist, and the other two
Tie
are gone.
yellow ribbon around the Snow Queen's wrist and smile.
Nice.
smile,
We've got
smile.
multiple songs going on here.
So Emma gets reunited with the family,
yes.
and then we see that she has the yellow ribbon on.
Yes,
her
you
wrist.
see it, and then you see
Elsa has
has
the
it.
yellow
And they're like,
ribbon.
why is this here?
Yeah,
I
Henry
feel like
Well,
pointed it
first
out.
she made
Magic is-
fireworks before
Yes.
they realized that
they
that
made
the-
like a dye.
she made the Northern Light,
Oh yeah, I forgot what that was called.
the Aurora Borealis.
And then
And
she
then
made
they turned into
fireworks.
fireworks.
Yep. I don't think that's ever happened. And then Henry points out, like, hey, where'd you get that thing on your wrist?
And she's like, what thing?
Yeah. And then
And they can't get
they
them
can't
off.
get them off.
And she's like, come
And do you
on.
remember what Elsa said at this point?
No.
She said, it feels like my power's being drained.
Harness.
Oh yeah.
she's
Like
harnessing.
drained and harnessed.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's Ingrid that's now gaining this power. So
Gaining-
that's why I couldn't figure out why she wanted the three sisters. It's three sisters become one. It's like Transformers. It's like Voltron. They're forming one giant robot to defeat Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah. And
Voltron's awesome, by the way.
Ingrid is with Rumpelstiltskin in her ice cave,
Yes.
and she says, "I now have the power from all three,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I can cast a spell over all of Storybrooke, and I can defeat you."
Yes.
So Rumpel's in some serious trouble.
I loved this, too, because Rumpelstiltskin says, don't overestimate your powers,
Right.
dearie. And she said, don't underestimate my
Exactly.
powers. Really good interplay there.
Yes.
So, wow.
So exciting.
We got stuff happening in this next one. Now, I think there's only a couple more until the mid-season break. So, we're going to have a lot of action, I have a feeling,
yeah.
over the next couple
next-
episodes.
Cliffhanger, I'm sure. A good
Oh, I'm
cliffhanger.
sure of it.
This tonight's episode, awesome.
Yeah, it was great. All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you for listening, everybody. You can find our past episodes as well as all of our social media at our website, which is...
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Yeah, you can also get on our email list there, and you can write to us right from our website, or send us an email at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. Follow the show on Twitter. We try to live tweet during the shows, although that's something that sometimes we're not able to do. We are doing a podcast with a 7-year-old. And if you do want to follow us on Twitter, and we are live tweeting, it's at EverAfterPod. And Martha tweets from...
At SMG Pods.
And I tweet from
Nothing.
my bed.
nowhere. And we also have a Facebook page, so go to the Facebook page and like us and share it, and go to iTunes and go to Stitcher and give us reviews, rate us. It really helps other people find us, and it tells us if you like what we're doing. That's it. Let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end.